You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Menley.
I do think in this class there are some guys that will be all-conference football players.
Future Griffon football has been signed, baseball and softball chalks have been lined, and Western basketball prepares for Washburn one more time. GSI coming at you with the right cross. It starts right now. Hello and welcome. Signing day breakdowns, spring sports openers, and 1 week later rematches.
You're a poet, but you did know it.
I did. That's good.
You know what? We begin with the ladder. Griffon basketball meets Washburn this Wednesday for the second time in a week.
And no game last Saturday, meaning it's a back-to-back showdown. The Griffon men will try to do to the Ichabods this Wednesday in St. Joe what they did to them last Wednesday in Topeka.
Wednesday's life lesson of the day, Ichabods are kind of creepy. Missouri Western taking on 17th ranked Washburn. Before the game, more than 1,300 combined coaching wins. Bob Chipman honoring the retiring Tom Smith. Nice ovation from the Washburn fans. They wouldn't be cheering at the end. This game was just wild to watch. Griffon's absolutely on fire. Shot 54% in the first half, including 3 straight threes from 3 different players. Dylan France caps a 9-0 Griffon run to put Western up 9, but Washburn on fire too. More specifically, Martin Mitchell. He goes on a 12-0 run by himself, nails 4 straight triples. Ichabods go to the break up 40-36. Darius Fulton, missing his 3rd straight game with a concussion, tells his team to stay hot. Actually, Mitchell was the one staying hot. He was 7 of 14 from behind the arc, career high 32 points. Washburn by 9 with 12 minutes to play, but the Griffons also scorching. They shot a sizzling 61% in the second half. They come right back. Calvin Ballcue ties the game at 67 late. Next possession, Alfreeman Flowers gets into the long distance thing. Griff's up 3 now. Skip ahead, under 2 minutes to play. Reed Mells, 3 from the top of the key. Got it. He had a team high 18 points. Western by 4, but Washburn not going down. Mitchell, who else? Ichabods now within 1 with a minute to play. 20 seconds left. Bods with the ball again, trying to take the lead. Mitchell again, but he finally misses. How about that? Missouri Western holds on for a 79-74 victory. The Griff shot 58% as a team, had 6 players in double figures. A complete and total effort by Coach Smith and company.
I thought we really were executed very well. Stayed with our game plan, even when we fell down by 8 or 9, I think at one time, maybe even more. I thought we stayed with our game plan, which was to keep the pace as slow as we possibly can. More points than I expected, actually, but the pace of the game was in our favor.
We got really good shots. I thought we played harder than we usually do at both ends, so I think that helped, but we shot with confidence, guys shared the ball, so made shots.
Knew that we couldn't take bad shots and we needed to make the good ones. So,
joining us now, head coach Tom Smith. Great win last Wednesday. Let's just bottle that up for this Wednesday. Can we do that?
I wish we could. When you put basically 7 guys out there and one of them doesn't hardly score and your other 6 all have double figures, I don't think we could do that if we were in the gym by ourselves and replicate what we did last Wednesday. So let's just hope that Washburn doesn't replicate what they did next Wednesday, and maybe we'll have a shot at getting them again.
Talk about a team preparing for a team back-to-back games. That's kind of a rare deal.
You know, it is, but it's not difficult. I mean, you're just you pull up the film and watch the game, and you've got the latest game, that's for sure. And then you say, what could we do differently? And in terms of, for us, we'd like to give them a little different look. I think out of the zones a little bit. We did switch it up. We went 3-2-2-3 or 2-1-2 basically a couple times when we switched it. But I'd like to be able to disguise it a little bit, maybe do some changes. And I really think that they'll change, and I don't think we'll see zone quite as much, because if I were Chipman, I think I would feel like it allowed us to slow the tempo down more than he would like the tempo slowed.
Well, guard play is certainly a strength for Washburn, and it was a strength for us on Wednesday night, and it looks like this Wednesday night we're going to get another one of our guards back in Darius Fulton.
I'm glad. I think more than anything else, we missed the leadership. Now there's no question that Reed played great against Washburn. I thought he really picked up, and for the first time, he really took the role of a point guard. I mean, he's had trouble with this because he's such a scorer. I thought he played an all-around great game. So back to Darius, I'm not sure that how do we get him back into the game without putting a whole lot of pressure on him and taking away from the other 2 kids. So we might not start him. It would be unusual for me, but we might not start him and just allow him to maybe phase into the game a little bit.
Hey, Coach Smith, we look back at Washburn. We're off Saturday. We've talked about this week, so now it's time to just jump right into Easley's tantalizing trio.
Already?
And you know what? In the spirit of Valentine's Day, our dessert is tiramisu. You like tiramisu?
Tiramisu,
What about
Italian.
baklava?
Baklava?
That's a Valentine's
That's
Day.
a
Well,
Greek.
that's
Now
either or.
we're Italian,
It's
to
either
Greek.
or.
What's next?
There was a lot of goofy games this last weekend, but a really goofy overtime game. I gave up on Louisville Notre Dame, but ends up going 5 overtimes. What's the longest overtime game you've coached in your career?
3.
Well, speaking of Washburn, and we talked about this on last week's show, arguably, this has always been a bigger basketball rivalry than maybe Northwest Missouri State. Do you have a favorite moment from the series, from the Washburn series,
I
over the
think
years?
Rue's half-court shot has to be.
That was like 04-05.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there thinking, we're going to go in overtime. We're not going to be able to beat him here in overtime, and suddenly he banks in a 60-footer.
Roosevelt Bolden.
That's a name for you
Roosevelt
right there.
Bolden, right.
California is where he was
Right.
from. And finally, we talked a lot about rivalries. You as a coach, do you have a favorite rivalry as a coach in terms of you against another coach?
Probably Washburn. I would say. I think.
Washburn this week.
I think
Coach Chipman and I have gone back and forth, and I think the interesting thing is, I think you pointed out, I've won 10 or I don't know if this
10
was
and
the
15
11.
all time in the
10
arena.
and 15 all time is pretty good, and I think his record probably back at my place is better than anybody else has been against us.
Bonus question for you.
Oh, my goodness.
Whitney Houston, dead a year this week. Better dead celebrity, Whitney Houston or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson by far.
I would agree with
You know, Elizabeth Taylor was the highest earning dead celebrity of 2012.
I believe that.
You do know that now. That's Coach
I'm
Tom
worth
Smith.
more dead than alive, too.
Yes, I think we all.
Hope I don't find that out soon, though.
And the Pope's retiring.
Yes. Well, it's the same situation for the Missouri Western women who prepare for back-to-back matchups with Washburn this Wednesday. The Griffons have some soul-searching to do after a tough loss to the then 9th-ranked Lady Blues a week ago. Lee Arena, Topeka, Kansas. Griffon women try to take down first place and 9th-ranked Washburn Lady Blues, top defensive team in the MIAA. The Griffons giving them a taste of their own medicine early. They forced 29 turnovers on the night. Heather Howard had the early hot hand for Western, scored 6 of her team-high 14 points in the first 3 minutes. They had an early 3-point lead. The game was close for the first 20 minutes or so. Washburn, though, coming alive at the end of the first half. Bodies flying. Laura Kindernick nails the 3. Western down 26-20 at the break. Second half was all Washburn. Lady Blues showing why they're ranked number 9 in the nation. They out-rebounded the Griffs 39-20 on the night. You give them second chances, they do that. Kindernick again. She had 16 points. Lady Blues shoot 56% from the field. The Griffs managed 29%. That equals a 65-48 Washburn win. The Lady Blues now 16-3 overall. The Griffs fall to 13-8. They've now dropped 5 of 6.
We're not getting enough productivity out of enough players offensively to hang with people. But defensively, and I'll tell you, first half defensively, Washburn probably wondered what in the world. I mean, we had them as flustered as I guarantee they've been all year long. And then to come back and play like that second half is just almost disheartening.
At the beginning of the year, it was so exciting, and it's hard to stay together when you're losing, when you're not playing good. And I think that's one of the things we really need to focus on is staying together and remembering that we're playing for each other and not lose sight of that, even though it's tough right now. We're going through a real tough spot.
Strong words from senior Bear Bell. Rob Edmondson, you've lost 6 of 7. Is this maybe one of your tougher coaching jobs at this point to kind of keep this group together as they've hit the hard portion of their schedule?
It is. Anytime you have adversity in life, whether it be in basketball or just life in general, it tests your character. And you know what they say, your character usually is determined by not what you're going through, but how you deal with it. And so for our players and our team, I think what will determine the toughness of our team and our characters, how do we deal with the fact that we've hit some rough times? And so it's a challenging time for us. Our kids are keeping pretty good spirits. I think their energy level's still good. So hopefully we can catch the second wind and third wind and fourth wind and fifth wind down here the stretch and pull off some wins and go into the conference tournament on a positive note.
Well, the second win comes against Washburn Lady Blues, and we've talked a lot about this. Again, you play them last Wednesday, game off in between. You play them again. Same game plan? You approach it differently? How do you go about it?
Well, I think there's that tendency to try to gimmick, try to fool each other. What changes is he going to make? What changes are we going to make? But, when you're at this point in the season, you are who you are. And for us, I think the game comes down to, can we shoot the ball? If we can make some baskets and make some easy shots, it's just going to take some stress off our defense. So dramatically, we won't try to do things different. I mean, we forced them into 29 turnovers.
That's baffling to me, too. That's amazing.
Isn't that
and
amazing?
I'm sorry to go back to that, but 29 turnovers and you lose by 17. That's it's shooting. That's what it comes down to.
It is, and it's so defensively. I mean, the first half, it's basically a 2-possession game at halftime, and you put so much pressure on your defense to be perfect every possession when you go through stretches of 6 or 7 minutes and not making a field goal, and so. It just comes down to having kids step up and make baskets. We're getting open shots, but we're just not going in. So we just got to do a better job.
Guess what time it is? It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, and yours.
It's called Out of the Box with Rob, and
I always wanted to intro it.
We actually have a different dessert. You like red velvet cake?
Oh,
I love red velvet cake. They make
Pop
Pop-Tarts. I was kind of thinking that'd be the blizzard of the month, but it's not.
Dairy Queen?
But yes, but red
Right
velvet.
after
It's not a GSI
pumpkin
sponsor.
pie.
So yeah,
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Yes, I love. Yeah.
Well, Rob, as is tradition, I'm going to ask you 3 questions that really have nothing to do with one another, and I don't give you. A lot of people probably say, "Well, you give him the questions ahead of time, right?"
No,
I do
this
not.
is-
So this
this
is
is-
literally the beauty of this
Yeah.
segment is
We test-
Rob has no clue what's
We
what I'm
test
ready to
your
ask.
wit.
Rob has no clue. What was-
Let's just stop it there.
Yeah.
We're done.
That's
Thank
the
you.
segment.
No, in all seriousness,
Oh.
the easy one out of the box. Simple yes, no, and maybe your favorite part. Did you watch Grammy Awards this past weekend?
I did not.
Do you care about those?
I do not. I pretty much watch basketball.
Rob, I like that too, especially this time of year. Rob, these next 2 questions are, I'm asking you like you're asking me to do an activity with you.
Okay.
And this is questions, okay? Rob, you have the opportunity to take me to play golf, tennis, or cycling. Which one would you rather go do?
Golf.
Golf. Thank
all
you.
day.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Love to
Thank
take you to
Okay,
play golf.
You're right there.
I've seen you
You're right
golf.
there.
You're a nice little golfer.
Finally, not a lot of people say that about me. Finally, I have 2 airline tickets I'm going to give you. But
Okay.
the stipulation is you have to take me with you.
Yeah. Oh, my wife's gonna be upset.
New York City,
No.
Chicago, or
No.
LA. Where are we going? You have those 3 choices.
Okay. We'll go to New York on our way to Italy.
Oh, okay. I've never
Because
been to Italy. I'd love to go.
That's our goal. My wife and I.
I'd like to buy a fake Rolex
My
in New
wife
York.
and I want to go to
Let's do
Italy.
that.
That's been a
As
dream
close
of
as I'll ever
ours.
get to a
We'll
Rolex.
take you as far as New York and drop you off.
Dump
How's
me out.
that?
That's okay.
I got
Because the first one's kind
I
of
got a bonus.
Okay.
It's
Bonus
must
question.
ask you a question
Let's
week.
ask you a question.
That's good.
I love
Top
it.
3 basketball players of all time. Go.
Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Will Chamberlain.
Who's the top?
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. I like it. That's out of the box with Rob.
That
And
is
must
out of the
ask you a
box right
question.
there. Red
We'll
velvet
see
cake
you
rules.
Wednesday night against Washburn. Let's try to come back and get a win. That
Will
would be
do.
okay.
Will do.
Okay. You're ordered to do that now.
If I'm ordered, it's in the bag.
Okay. If not, you won't be back.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
We're a spine and sport, and unfortunately I tore my ACL. It's unique in the way that they don't just fix the problem that you have, they fix the problem that caused the problem that you have. Fred's very knowledgeable about the entire injury and all the causes and things you can do right now to prevent it from happening in the future. The SwimX is a very unique piece of equipment, and this is the only place in St. Joe that has one, and so that was specifically why I sought Spine and Sport out. And in there you can do pretty much everything you can't do on land, because you don't have your full body weight. So you're allowed to jump, you're allowed to run, you're allowed to do presses and kick your legs and do things to strengthen all your muscles that you wouldn't normally be able to do on land with all your body weight. I would recommend Spine and Sport to anybody from your average athlete to your professional athlete to someone who's just been injured in even a car wreck and needs to get healthy.
He once helped an unbalanced bull by teaching him ballet. He cured a man's foot with plantar fasciitis by playing Go Fish.
You have an 8. Go Fish.
He helped balance a man by playing darts with his eyes. He is the most helpful physical therapist in the world.
I don't always go to physical therapy, but when I do, I prefer Spine and Sport.
Stay healthy, my friends.
National Signing Day last week. Missouri Western football has 26 new Griffons inked to the class of 2013. No emphasis really on any certain position, just kind of a mixed bag. 22 high schoolers, 4 transfers. And joining us right now, head coach Jerry Partridge, your first GSI of 2013. I know it's
It's been
exciting.
a while. I mean, I've missed it. I've missed it a lot.
That's good. You know, Max Griffin's missed you. You know what? You're not even supposed to be here right now, pal.
You're still suspended.
You're off the show.
2 weeks, no pay.
Right now.
Don't be sucker punching me. I'm not no Deontay Mitchell. I'll hit you back. Get out of here.
Boy.
Yeah.
Strong.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now
thank
we
you for
see
taking
it.
care of that problem.
But yes, thank you.
You know, we've had some discipline issues with him, so hopefully that.
I understand.
Let's. Yeah, I know you do. Okay, let's let's get to the class here. 2 O-linemen in this class as far as transfers go. Talk about that's the immediate need right now.
Yeah, I mean it's. I think at our level throughout, it seems like everybody's bare in that area, and certainly with 5 guys gone, it was something we looked for. 2 were signed on that day. Christian Orduno and Jaquay Polite, call him JP. They both are guys that we feel. I don't want to just say they're going to come start, but they're good enough to start, and certainly. If they get beat out by one of those returning guys, and that's awesome because they're both very good football players. And then we had 5 actually high school signees, and one of the D linemen is potentially a guy that could be an O lineman too.
Well, we knew this would probably be the class where you would potentially sign your next starting quarterback. Travis is a senior next year, and you got 2 very good ones. Skylar Windmiller, TJ Lefebvre. Talk about those 2 guys.
Well, I also don't want to slight the kids that are in between Travis and these 2 guys. I think those kids are working hard and have a chance to continue to get better. But we do feel very strongly about the talent level and the leadership skills of both TJ and Skylar. I think that's the first thing. I think I said something about they had good personalities or something on signing day, but they
Senator-like personalities.
Senator-like
I don't know if
personalities.
that's really a good thing, but that's
you
meant it that way.
They win people over.
Yes.
They can win elections, and they both have great, strong leadership qualities. And they're athletic. They throw very good football. They both are over 6'2", which helps. One of them 6'3". It's going to be an interesting competition. And as always, it seems like in these situations, I bet you anything to become friends, and it inevitably happens.
This is a signing class, too, of a lot of heard from familiar programs in this state, a lot of winning programs that you've plucked these kids from. That's always a big thing. The Webb Cities of the world, the different Kansas City schools that are all perennial state championship.
Well, we've never signed a Webb City guy, and Webb City's always had a tremendous program. Logan Williams is a kid there, a great athlete, safety kid. Right there in Southern and Pittsburgh's backyard. It just very rarely happens, and we were able to get him. 2 Ozark kids. There was a Jeff City kid, Blue Springs South, Lee Summit West. Those are predominant programs, and we've always done a great job. Coach Trotter and Coach Burton have done a good job in St. Louis. Coach Trotter traditionally has really been able to bring back some really good kids, and again, we 4 or 5 just impact football players from that area, and I'm really excited about the type of kids we're getting from the type of places we're getting them because they're championship programs, and I think you're seeing that a little bit as these kids know how to win once they get here.
Well, the main portion of the recruiting season over, obviously I know you're always got your eye out looking for a guy that may come late. As we sit here in the middle of February, spring football's getting ready to take place. Talk about the game plan here the next 3 months and how that'll work out.
Well, right now we're heavily into our off-season program. Coach Westbell does a great job in that area. I mean, our kids are seem like they're getting bigger and stronger every year, and they're working really, really hard. It's really exciting to kind of watch the kids that haven't really played yet. The kids that have been backups in this redshirt class as they continue to progress and start to challenge. And hey, I got a shot to see the field. And watching the leadership of, say, Travis Partridge, how he's reacting, and some of these other kids that haven't been leaders as much that are starting to become like Jeremy Jacobson, Tyron Crockham, people like that. We still got a few things we're going to do recruiting-wise. We're still going to be bringing in some people. Maybe a transfer or just any kind of a surprise athletic type of high school kid that we can get late. But now it's kind of the downtime for coaches, but you always alert to improving your program.
Well, I feel like we need a mid-season tantalizing trio, don't we?
I'm sure we do.
I'm sure we do, because again, I know Jerry Partridge is a frequent show listener and watcher rather, and I know I've been getting a lot of phone calls. So, Coach P, this is Valentine's week. I don't know if you knew that or not. I hope you did.
I did.
Are you get your wife a flowers guy? I mean, I don't want to give anything away here, but do you do that? Is it dozen red roses?
No way.
Pink or
I'm
yellow?
gonna get my wife something guy, whether it's flowers. I try to mix it up.
Why would you want to give that away?
I'm an old crafty lefty on the mound, and that's how I go about it. When
Teddy bears and stuff? Singing telegrams?
No, I don't go that far.
I know where you can get
There's
those.
something. We went chocolate covered strawberries last year. Who knows what I'll do this time.
Well, you get to eat those. That doesn't really count.
I don't really like them.
Valentine's Day dessert. Do you like red velvet cake? Are you that guy? It's kind of one of my personal faves.
I like red velvet cake, but I'm not necessarily a guy that goes out and buys it.
And let's roll back to Jerry Partridge's early days. I mean, Valentine's Day, that's kind of an elementary school holiday. Did you make your own Valentines? Did you go to the store and buy those?
Went to the store and bought them. My mother with the sore bottom, and we had to do it for the whole class. So.
Yep.
I have nothing else to add to that. This is really good. We appreciate you coming in and talking about love, life, and all that.
Never know. Out of the box.
I think I'm all about love.
Yeah, that's great. We love you here on GSI. It's always in the air. We'll be right back.
I am your physical therapist. My job is to make you better. Go ahead, give me your worst injury. I can fix it. You can ignore that shoulder. You can go to someone else. Doesn't matter. To really get better, you gotta go through me. I'm Fred Schunkweiler, and this is Spine and Sport.
The most helpful physical therapist in the world on rocker shoes. No.
Well, we talked football signing day last segment. Griffon soccer also got some key pickups on that same day. 7 new players. Coach Chad Edwards hopes all can be immediate impacts. On paper, they look the part. Headlining the class, Benedictine College transfer Tara Russell, who scored 16 goals for the Ravens last season. That's one more than the entire Griffon team scored last season, so that's a big pickup. Also, freshman Sarah Lyle from Duluth, Minnesota, will look to come in and start immediately in goal.
Tara Russell should come in and contribute right away. If she can live up to the expectations I have for her, she'll be a very good goal scorer and hopefully, no offense to Abby, but take over the leading goal scorer, career goal scorer by the time she leaves. And with Katie Kemp coming back off injury and Ashley Jurovich coming back off injury, if those kids can come back at the level I think they will, adding Tara in the mix up top should turn this into a much more dangerous team that people have to deal with 3 players rather than 1 or 2. So.
Welcome back to GSI. From the pitch to the pitch. Missouri Western Baseball kicked off its 2013 campaign this past week.
The Griffons went 1-3 during their opening weekend series at Arkansas Tech. Griffons open MIAA play this Saturday at Emporia State.
Missouri Western softball off to an unusual start out of the gate. The Griffons are 2-2 after last weekend's Southeastern Regional Shootout in Oklahoma. Should have played 2 more games, but rain canceled the final day Sunday. The Griffons having no problems hitting the ball. They've scored 24 runs in 4 games. Still working on shoring up other things. Coach Jen Bagley says no big deal.
You know, I think this team kind of needed to kind of have a reality check on how hard you have to work in order to be successful. And so I think if anything positive could have come out of 2 losses, it's the fact that we know we're not perfect and that we're going to have to work harder to get there.
The Griffons back in action this weekend down south at the Arkansas Monticello 5-State Classic. Also, Griffon tennis in action. They'll open the season at home on Friday against Northeastern State. GSI will be right back.
All right, we're here with Michelle from the softball team to talk about footwork. You know, fielding drills. We want to make sure that we develop footwork so the feet are talking to the hips at all times. So we're going to demonstrate a hurdle drill here. Michelle's going to get into place here. We got 3 hurdles and she's going to go 2 feet in, 1 foot out, go. And what she's doing is she lands, she's working on the cut, and then she comes back, she loads that hip and then explodes out of it. Excellent drill to work on footwork and how to get the foot to talk to the hip. So now what we're going to do, as Michelle comes to a stop and catches her breath here, we're going to add the ball and we're going to get specific on fielding because Michelle's got to be able to get down low enough to field, especially playing second base. Got to get to that ball hit up hard up the middle, prevent that base hit. So here she goes, she's going to start, but we got the ball coming there, she fields it, comes down, and she gets down low enough, but she's still working on that footwork in those hurdles. Excellent job, Michelle. That right there is a footwork drill because we want to be fast, we want to be quick, we want to play good defense, but we also want to prevent injuries. We want those feet to talk to those hips. That's training like the pros at Spine and Sport.
The most helpful physical therapists in the world on dodgeball.
You'll never know when 3-dimensional flexibility will come in handy.
Stay healthy, my friends.
Need it. Just 3 more minutes, man. We don't be here long.
Welcome back. We're smiling through our teeth. That wasn't really funny. That's why Max Griffin's not at the end of the show this week.
Well, obviously, 2-week suspension, maybe 3. I mean, that's probably
3
pretty
week after he
generous,
snuck
too.
in on Partridge
Unbelievable.
earlier. But Partridge,
who does this guy think he is?
Put the
anyway?
fear of Griffin in, though, so it's okay.
Does that to a lot of people.
You know who we do have back this week, though? Deontay Mitchell,
Thank
our
goodness.
production assistant.
We're fortunate to have him back.
It's
after
really
that.
nice to see you back, man. You've looked better, but how you feeling?
He's gotten through it, didn't he? That's why they signed those waivers.
Yeah, that is why they signed the
It
waivers,
is.
so we can still take the
Yes.
money to go to school here.
Indeed.
Yeah, so
Yes, indeed.
That's good. Are you ready to get to role play? Let's
I
go
can't
right
wait.
ahead. Okay.
I've been. Who am I this week?
Brett, you are Bill Self.
Oh.
Well, I feel really
Wow.
bad for you.
Is my Navy? I'm not wearing Navy.
No,
That's all I
no.
own is Navy.
What do you have to say for yourself? Your team lost 3 in a row, and I don't know what to say that you haven't already said.
Hey, I'm a miracle worker. I can deal with good players, bad players, mediocre players, blue chips, McDonald's All-Americans, etc., etc. We're going to be fine. We're going to win our games.
You'll
we'll
probably
be
be
there
in
in
the
the
Final
end.
Four again.
Don't question me. Why would you ever question me?
I apologize.
Ryan Menley.
Yes.
You don't resemble him. You're the Pope.
I'm Benedict.
You're the Pope. Where's your
Yes.
cloth?
85 years old.
You know what? You're retiring February 28th.
I am.
You're the first Pope in 600 years to step down. I remember the last. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Normally you do that till you die.
Normally I'm Pope until
You can't
I die.
step down.
Yes,
What?
I can. If members of Congress did
Definitely
the
look
same
like a
thing in
symbol
the
Pope.
United States of America,
Yes.
we'd be a much better place than what we are now.
Hard to disagree.
That's all I got for that. Let's
Wow.
go back to basketball. The
Yeah.
Griffins taking on Washburn this Wednesday night in the Fieldhouse, 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men.
You know what? We're down to 3 home games.
How about that?
You need to be out here. A lot of good basketball coming up. A lot of good events coming up. Coach Smith winding it down. Need you in the Fieldhouse Wednesday night.
Yep, we'll see you then.
We're going. Go Griffs.